Common triggers of anger. Hi everyone, and thank you for being here. Today, I want to talk about something we all experience, yet sometimes struggle to understand: anger. Specifically today, we are looking at common triggers of anger. Now, anger isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a natural human emotion. It helps us identify when something feels wrong or unjust. But uncontrolled or chronic anger can harm our relationships, our health, and even our sense of peace. To manage anger effectively, we have to first understand what triggers it. So in this talk, we're going to explore common triggers of anger, why they affect us, and how we can begin to respond to them in healthier ways. What triggers anger? 1. Feeling disrespected. One of the most common triggers of anger is feeling disrespected. Think about it. Have you ever had someone interrupt you repeatedly, ignore your opinion, or talk down to you? Chances are, you felt a rising heat inside. That's the anger talking. Respect is deeply tied to our identity. When we feel disrespected, we often perceive it as an attack on our worth. This might happen at work, in a relationship, even with strangers on the road. The key here is to recognize that your anger is a signal. Your brain is saying, hey, something about this feels unfair or demeaning. Once you know that, you can pause and choose your response instead of reacting automatically. Number 2. Injustice. Another powerful trigger is injustice. This can be personal, like not getting credit for your work, or global, like seeing corruption, discrimination, or cruelty in the world. Injustice taps into a deep sense of what we believe is right. And when that gets violated, it can spark outrage. Now, that anger can be fuel for change. Many movements for justice were born out of anger. But again, it needs to be managed constructively. Anger without direction can burn you out or turn into cynicism. So the goal is not to suppress the anger, but to understand it and channel it. Ask yourself, is there something I can do here to help fix the situation, or do I need to accept that some things are out of my control? Number 3. Feeling powerless or out of control. Let's move on to another major trigger: feeling powerless or out of control. When life throws things at us, traffic jams, unexpected bills, health issues, we often feel trapped. And that trapped feeling can turn into anger. You'll notice this often in parenting or high-stress jobs. When things spiral and people feel they can't regain control, they snap. It's important to recognize when anger is really about fear or frustration. Often, we lash out not because of the situation, but because we don't feel we have the tools to deal with it. In those moments, grounding yourself through breathing, pausing, or reframing can help you respond with clarity instead of just reacting. Number 4. Rejection or abandonment. Another emotional landmine is rejection. Whether it's being ghosted by a friend, turned down for a job, or broken up with, rejection hurts. And sometimes that hurt transforms into anger. Why? Because anger can feel more powerful than sadness. If we feel abandoned or excluded, anger gives us a sense of control or defense. It's like saying, I didn't need them anyway. But holding on to that anger often hides the real wound underneath. And until we address the hurt, the fear of not being good enough, we might keep misplacing our anger on people who don't deserve it. Number 5. Past trauma and unresolved issues. Sometimes, anger is less about the current moment and more about the past. Let me explain. Maybe you had a childhood where your voice wasn't heard, or you experienced neglect or abuse. These unresolved issues can cause anger to show up in unpredictable ways later in life. Intentionally, subdue your anger. Thank you for listening.